of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
On second and 12, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Let's go deep, tighten up.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's first and 10 at the 14. Cousins gives way to Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
It's a party now.
They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Terry connecting on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Second and 10.
19. Here we go, D.
Throwing on second down. Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Check 99. Check 99.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Out of the gun, Watson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
The Vikings
Let's go.
first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
First and 10.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Cook. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Cousins, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And an Allen to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Let's go, D. Wide.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they come up now 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Cousins. Flushed out right. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cousins now. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. Being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Watson. It's complete right side to Benjamin. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 12 yards there and a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Off of play action, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And he fires one incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Check safety, check safety. 31. Safety's great.
Here we go on 4th. Watson, and he's got the completion to Hopkins. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. You don't see too many conversions on 4th and 10, but we just did there. A gain of 14 and a first down. Now a first down throw, Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson, that's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting them a few yards.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Check nine, check nine. Alert! Joker, 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 Joker. Showing up. Hey, 59. Nine of go. Nine of go.
They'll give it to Chubb. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
They'll run with Chubb, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Second down and goal. Watson to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be a touchdown. Deshaun Watson as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Texans 7.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Robert Quinn able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Brings up 3rd down.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
There we go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
and this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
This is it. 54 Mike. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. SOS. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. To throw again on second down. Watson over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14-all following the interception last time that led to a score. And they've got it 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Andrew Billings gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
Rip left, rip left.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. Watson now to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air...
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it. But how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
And that hits off the left upright, and it comes away no good. And we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing his Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Watson. Open man right side is Cup, complete. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Watson now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Eluding the pressure, and he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Again, it's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Motion. 54, Mike.
Throwing again is Watson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely crazy about that play call there. I mean, it's only a one-score game, so is it really time to go bombs away and try and make a big play? I think you can take some underneath stuff and still move it downfield.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
At the 12-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
We're good. Go ahead.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have once again taken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And now here is another interception. Lonnie Johnson picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Good stuff. Keep doing that.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start the drive with Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
But that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. From the 24, Watson, he stiff arms him, completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. On first down, they'll run with Chubb, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Go, go, go.
Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 yards there, first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them.
And this results in 6. Touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Go, let's go. Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into... And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Andrew Billings picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
We're going to keep getting sacks.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Well, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. Now Cousins on 4th down. Dancing to, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Andrew Billings and the Texans take over an excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down.